Hi, we're the Innovators, and today we're going to have another tool discussion. Today we'll be discussing Zaption, Ant, eMaze, TouchCast, and electronics. My name's Laura Wagner, and I'm going to start us off with Zaption. And Zaption is it's teachers, trainers, and content publishers use Zaption's intuitive web app to quickly add images, text, quizzes, and discussions to existing videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and private video libraries. The result is an interactive video lesson that transforms video from a lean back experience to an engaging lean forward experience. And basically, you can create your own lessons. You can share with others. There's, your drafts that you started and ones that you've published. Here's a section for videos that you upload, and it's a great organizational tool. Also, there's this gallery here. This is really the jackpot as far as this website. This is what other people have shared, and it's just there's a huge variety here of videos, and there, for instance, there's one here, and I just looked at this yesterday, and there's totally different videos up now. So basically, I think there's people sharing on a very frequent basis. Here's one about Andrew Jackson, and it starts off with like a biography channel excerpt, I guess you could call it, for a little while. Then it sort of switches into a different TED talk, and it's like a cartoon, and it actually asks questions, and so basically this is a very comprehensive lesson, and it gives you more information on it. Down here, it gives you your tags. It's going to tell you exactly, how you could input this into your organizational tools, and you can customize, other people's lessons to yourself if that's what you choose to do. Also, there's a lot of secondary school type content here, I notice. There may be, there are a few things for the younger kids, but for instance, this one here is the Paper Bag Princess, and this is basically a book being read aloud. I don't think you can hear it here, but there's a narrator, and just reads through the whole book. But the narrator is very skilled at reading, and this is for grades 2 through 3, and so language arts lesson. And basically, this is where, here's the dot. So there are things for younger students as well, but it's a matter of really going through and really, getting more specific with the middle. This is the middle school science. They have a specific one for this. So it's very well organized, very well thought out.
Do you know when you are accessing the different collections that it offers, that when it says copy lesson, does it actually pull up a Word document that provides the lesson plan, or?
Right. Yeah, I actually didn't get that far because I didn't want it. You had to go more in depth as far as logging in and signing up for more stuff, kind of thing.
So you do create an account for this website?
But yeah, I created an account. There's certain copying it is just really a matter of adding the video to your library.
Okay. So it's basically all video. It's just basically a different way to present information.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's mainly videos, but kind of videos presented in the format of a lesson.
Kind of reminds me of Prezi almost, but with videos. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sorry, do you find the information on the site, or you get the information beforehand and then make the video, or?
Well, you could do either. You could create your own, or you could search for the information specifically that you're looking for through the videos that are already provided.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay, cool. All right. For the second tool that we're going to be talking about is going to be a tool called Ant. And let me just screen share this. Okay. So this is what the homepage looks like, and it's actually a website that is set up with the University of Minnesota. You can either sign in with, if you are a student there, you can sign in with that. You can sign in with Google, Facebook, or Twitter, but you have to have existing accounts for all three of those. Or you could also accept the terms and things like that and use it as a guest. If you scroll down, it just kind of explains what this tool is, and it's essentially just a tool that helps you annotate videos, and it explains what your ant farm would be like. It's essentially just your dashboard, videos that you've made, collections that you've annotated, and things like that. And then it also explains how you can export your videos that you've annotated, so you could basically put them anywhere that HTML is approved. It also explains down here that you can use it on basically any video, use it on any desktop or mobile device, and it explains that they have secure sharing, so it can only be accessed by members that you share it with. And you can also create conversations towards the videos that you're doing. So what I did was I just accepted that and then did it as a guest. So you basically have to load a video here. When I did this, I just put in one for one of the videos that we did. Hold on, I have to go to, I don't remember what the Tool Talk one we did was. How did I have that? Hold on. Let's see if I have it on here. Basically, when you go on to this section of it, though, all it does is takes you to an area that you put in your video, and then you basically go step by step and you annotate it. I really feel like this site isn't something that I would use as much because it can be really time consuming. There's a lot of steps once it's not loading right, but once you get into it, there is a lot of steps to putting the annotation in there. And it reminded me, though, of the annotation videos, that how he explains things on for each of our assignments for this class, so it can be used in that sense as well. It's kind of also reminded me of the, what is that, screencast? Is that what we use? Or
yeah, Screencast-O-Matic.
Yeah, we're using that. It's basically essentially the same thing. It's not loading for some reason, but I'm trying to see if okay, it's not letting me. It's not loading. But yeah, essentially it just goes step by step in adding annotations to your video, and then you can create an ant farm, which is essentially just a place where all of your collections are. There isn't a way for you to look at other videos, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't really understand what the point of that is, but yeah, there really wasn't too much information in this website. It was just kind of, make your videos, go from there. Do you guys have any questions about it? Because it's not loading right. I don't know why.
So it sounds like maybe you weren't that impressed with it.
I mean, it's not that I wasn't impressed with it. I just don't find it as useful for me as if I already have that Screencast-O-Matic. I feel like I could just use that because I already understand more so how to use it. And I think that I was just more comfortable with that software. Whereas I feel like this one was kind of time consuming and now it's not working. So it's also hard for me to explain it that way. But
yeah,
I just didn't think it was anything too special.
Yeah, I thought, well, just Screencast-O-Matic is so easy to use.
Exactly.
Compared to this, why would you make things more difficult for yourself?
Exactly, and of course it's not loading now, or I'd show you, but yeah, I just was like kind of already impressed by the way Screencast-O-Matic was, just because it was so very accessible and easy to use, whereas this one was just, you had to upload a video or find a YouTube video, and it was just like I didn't know what YouTube video to put into it. So I had put one of our Hangout Tool Talks in there for a minute and then messed with it, but of course now it's not loading. So
I guess one plus to it, though, as coming from a teacher perspective is if you already made videos of something you did, like if you went on a nature walk or something, you could upload that made video by you onto the website, and then you could add all the different annotations and options
Yeah.
that it would give you.
I think that the best part of it is the fact that I think it would be really well suited for an explanational or an instructional video just because of the annotation feel for it. But yeah, it wasn't anything that I found I wasn't super wowed by it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The next tool that we're going to be talking about is the website eMaze. So this is a website that is used to present information, and essentially it reminded me of like a Prezi or a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to log off. Well, I was going to log off, but then you can't. Let's see. This is the home page. So when you come on, it just kind of explains that you pick a template, create a presentation, and then you eMaze everyone. If you go down, you can learn more, and it'll explain the templates that they have, which there's so many different templates, and they also have a lot of people visit this site per month. Talks about what's new, and then it kind of explains what the presentation software is, and it just explains that you can kind of create slideshows, video presentations, and 3D presentations as well. It kind of talks about why to use eMaze instead of PowerPoint, talks about how it's cloud-based so you can access it from anywhere online. It has automatic translation. It's new. It has like that 3D aspect, not just 2D designs. And then it runs on any browser with the power of like the newer technologies. And then down here they have their Facebook and Twitter and Gmail. Also at the bottom they have the blog, the articles, Get Inspired. So if we go to the blog, that just kind of talks about people that have used the site, and basically it's them talking about it, kind of what they've liked and how to use it and things like that. If you go to articles, that's essentially kind of the same thing. It's just more articles on the website. If you go to the support page, though, I found this page really useful in the sense that if you go to any of these, like the adding audio download, this is everything, like literally any FAQs or questions that you have about how to add things in or how to add links, add text. It really explains everything right there, which is really nice, because especially when you're using a new software, that can be confusing. You can also import PowerPoints, which I thought was interesting. And then you can download your presentation. So if you're not going to be able to work online and you need to get like a PDF of it, or you need to download it to your computer so that you can just present it that way without having the internet, you can do that as well. Now if you go back to the top, and this is also an interesting fact of it. This is cool because if you're a teacher or student, you get discounted. You can get a discounted membership, or this is the typical like prices right here, but you also can continue as a free user, which is what I choose to do. This is my page, so you can create a new presentation, and this will take you to the templates, and you choose one from there. I did that the other day just to mess with it a little bit, and I did this, and this I didn't really name it. I just kind of just wanted to see what it looked like, and then this was the presentation that I had created, but this was a templated one, so it's basically the same thing as what the template was. But yeah, it's just really interactive and a nice way to present information. It can be used in the same sense, like I said before, as a PowerPoint or a Prezi. The only obstacle that you might have with this is that if you don't create an account where you pay, you don't get all the perks or the add-ins that come with it, but there is still a lot that goes into the site as well. I'm trying to, let's see if I can just choose one and show you what it looks like real quick. So when you create one, it'll take you to this page. You basically choose a template, and then you can change the information in here. And like I said, it's a lot like a Prezi or a presentation. So if you are already like used to using Prezi or something like that and you're comfortable with it, this is also something that you might like as well, just because of the fact that it's very, very similar in the aspect of how it's set up. Basically, and if you want to share it, you can do that as well. You can make it public, you can make it private. I'm just going to save this one. So that's what it looks like when you're setting one up. Why is this not going back to my page? Go to my page. Okay. And then it just saves all your things right here. But yeah. So I thought that was really cool just because, like I said, it's nice to have different ways to present information. And it is really similar to PowerPoint or Prezi. So if you're already comfortable with those, it's kind of intuitive. Basically, it's so similar. It looks almost exactly like how Prezi is set up. So yeah, I think it's definitely very useful just to have another way to present the information to your students. And the fact that you can make it 3D is really cool as well.
I love that website. It's so cool, and it looks really easy to navigate, and the graphics for it really were like really appealing. So for like a student perspective, they might be really motivated and engaged to use a website like that.
Exactly, and it's free for the most part unless you choose to do the upgrade. And like if you're a teacher or a student, you get a discounted price for the monthly.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting because when I was looking at it, I was thinking about, like, you kept comparing it to Prezi, and I personally have a hard time using Prezi. I don't know why. I'm not a very visual person, so it just doesn't make sense to me the way they set it up. But looking at that, it looks like it looked easier to me. I haven't tried it yet, but it definitely looks a little more intuitive than a Prezi is.
It is. It's a little bit easier. It's a little easier than PowerPoint. For some reason, I have I've never been comfortable with PowerPoint, so I think it's easier than PowerPoint. But Prezi to me is personally my favorite. I like the way that it jumps back and forth, but it's so similar that it's like almost identical to the way that Prezi is set up.
That's interesting. I'm going to definitely have to try that.
Yeah, I was really impressed by it. And it's always just nice to have an extra way to present information to your students, because if you're showing them the same thing over and over again, it's just nice to see something new.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. For sure.
All right. So the next tool we're going to talk about is called TouchCast. This was really interesting to look at, and I think it's really going to be a big deal with not just like education, just in general. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the idea behind this is using, I guess, the internet or websites easier in a way that's presented like differently. So they call it like video web. So it'll present information to you through video, and you'll have like, I don't know if you can see that, I'm not going to click it, but it has like while somebody's talking, you can put up your like websites and different articles or maps or whatever adds to the video that'll help you right on the screen. So it's not like it's right there while you're talking, whatever presentation's going on. And it has a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of different types of videos. So it's not just like something specific for teachers, it's just something people can use in general. You see all these different categories, style, fashion, some tutorials. So when I came here, it takes you right to here. I signed up for an account, and basically that just lets you create your own, have your own channel where people can watch your videos, stuff like that. But for the most part, unless you want to make TouchCast, you don't actually really need an account. You can still access all these videos. So you click over here to the menu bar. It has, where you can learn more about it. And it really is just, it's really interesting. I've never seen anything like it. Like the idea, it's simple, but like I've never thought of presenting information this way. It's available for computers, but also your mobile devices, which is cool. So you can do it on your iPads, on your phones, which is really cool. And it has a lot of tools to really make your video look really professional, which is really cool. And I think it makes it available for people who aren't as tech savvy to make really professional looking videos, which is cool. They use they call them video or V-apps or video apps, where it's like you read, like you have information presented to you, and then it's like interactive like apps, I guess, along with your video. It's really interesting. So I went to, when I came here, I went to, Watch, no, not Watch, I went to For Education, since, we're teachers. And this is called EduCast, which is information that students can use, so that they can make their own like TouchCast, or you can even make a TouchCast for your students. And I think it really allows the students to learn how to use technology more efficiently and think in a way that we want our students to be thinking. We want our students to be innovative and be able to use technology to do new things and present things in a way that we might not think of. So it's really cool. It has some resources. This is like information or educator guide on how to engage the YouTube generation. So it's kind of, today's children, I feel, are a little bit different because they have so much information and stuff thrown at them, and their attention spans are not as long, and they're used to always having something interesting in front of them. So it can be difficult for an adult or somebody our age to teach them. So this is a guide like to help come up with different ways to engage students. There's some teachers workshops, so professional development things, and it helps you create your first like TouchCast, and it also has lesson plans. How do teachers use TouchCast to make lesson plans? Which I personally, I'm a little old school, so I'm like, how do you use that to make lesson plans? But for those who are trying to be more tech savvy, which I feel like every educator today should strive to do that, it's really cool. And this is a little like video. It takes you to the channel EduCast, and you can look at different things. Here's like a video of kids doing a newscast. So you have videos of kids doing their TouchCast, and also like educators doing their own TouchCast. And all of this, it's like it's also like social media. So like you have your own channel, so people can follow the channel, and you can follow the people. So yeah, it's a lot going on. It's very interactive. I definitely want to look more into it. And like I said, it goes beyond just the classroom. It really, I think, is something like the next YouTube almost. So it's really cool.
I think it's really cool that you can use it for like as a student or as a teacher, because I feel like a lot of most of the tools that we're looking at are more directed towards just teachers, and the fact that you can use this as a student or basically any member of society in general is really interesting. It's kind of for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about that. You brought up a good point. All of our tools we have talked about or learned about have been really directed towards teachers, and
Teachers only.
Yeah, that this website you can actually be a student and use as a student.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, I was impressed by that as well. Okay, that's going to conclude our...
No. Sorry, I still have my tool to talk about.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
So we do have one last tool to talk about, and let me screen share. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And can you actually see me moving my screen around?
Yep.
Okay. So what my tool is about, we're going to talk about the electron inks. And so this actually isn't really like an interactive website or tool type thing you can use on a computer. This is something that you purchase and you physically use in a classroom. So what it is, it's called Circuit Scribe, and it's a pen that you actually can use to create functioning circuits on any type of paper. So this was created by a group of PhD students, and it was made just for more of an interactive, hands-on tool that students can use in the classroom and visually see how different circuits work. So it's definitely more of a science-based type of tool that you would use in a classroom. And I definitely was thinking how this is something you would use in higher education, and someone like me in early childhood education probably wouldn't use a tool like this. On the website, it is pretty much set up like a business page because they are trying to sell something. So there's an about section. In that section, it just talks about what exactly the pen is. So there's this silver inside the pen in the ink that actually makes it a conductive material to use on any type of material or any type of like paper. There's these items over here, and there are different switchboards that you would connect the circuits you're making to. So there's just on this website, there's a lot of different things that it talks about that you can use it for. I was looking at the different items it offers, but so these are, they call them modules. I didn't really understand why it was called a module, because from what I know, that's just like learning material, where these are actually like little pieces that you use in your circuits. So this is what you would use to connect your circuits to do something. They were talking about how there's circuits that make sounds, there's circuits that you can use that have lights to light up, and like right here, I mean, just reading it, so there's a photo sensor, this is a blinker, a buzzer. You can use this circuit to connect a USB power to. So a student could create a circuit, use this little switchboard, and hook up their phone to this to charge because it has the USB port right there. And there's just different kits that are available. So for like a teacher, you could purchase the complete circuit kit, which gives you the pen and then the circuit scribe to tell you what different circuits you can make and create to have different things work. There was this in the education section, there is these different sections that you can use in the classroom, and I found this one which is called Workbook Repository. So in this additional web page, here's just a little piece that shows you what exactly it is and gives you just information of how the pen works and what different types of tips you can use on how to make the pen a functioning tool in your classroom. And then there's different colors on the switchboards that like say that just describe what the tool it is that it can be used for. There was this one that I found that they used the circuit pen to make, and so it was a Christmas tree one. So this was just like a template that the website gave, and you would use the circuit pen to actually like fill in all these red dotted lines over here that you see, and these pieces right here are the start of the circuit, and you would have to put different switchboards on there. But then once you create your circuit with the pen, then the different pieces you put on there like lights up the tree. So it's just something like really cool that you can use in the classroom. That's a hands-on activity that shows students the how-to on how to use circuits, and it just gives the students a different experience than if you were to actually talk and lecture about circuits. That this gives the students a way to actually see it happening and learn about it. The only thing that might be hard with students, that might be an obstacle using this, is if they're not understanding or comprehending what a circuit even is, and if they're just in younger grade levels, this isn't necessarily something you would use in a science, or in the earlier level classrooms, you don't really have like a science period devoted in your class. It's really just something you might piece into your classroom, where this is something that would take a while to use. And I think it would just be geared towards like older students who would actually be able to access the tool themselves and learn how to use it themselves.
Yeah, that's what you're saying about the early childhood thing. I know that you and I are both early childhood majors, so I feel like this is kind of geared towards high school, not even so much middle school. I feel like it's really in depth with the information that you have to be able to comprehend to be able to use it. So I feel like this is a cool tool, but it is very center
advanced.
for just older students.
Yeah, and it kind of ties into what we've been talking about in class about creating. How creating is really when real learning is really taking place. When creating.
Well, I think first of all, that's really cool. It's amazing to me, like how far technology advances and the stuff that we can do nowadays. Like I mentioned, I have older sisters, and they're like much older, and I'm much more identified with their generation than this because I'm just like, wow, what? And I know for me in school, we did do a technology class. I had one in 7th grade where we did something similar to like building circuits and stuff, very basic though, and then one in 10th. But other than that, there wasn't any other technology classes, and it wasn't something I was really adept at. So I can't tell you much about that area. So I feel like now that it's 2016, it's kind of necessary for our students to know how to do this and to learn how to do it earlier. So I think that it's going to be a challenge for us teachers to learn how to use technology like that, and then not only know how to use it, but present it to younger and younger students, so that it'll be a norm. It'll be the normal for, I don't know, second graders to construct some circuit. I don't know. I can't even use the right terms because I don't know.
Right.
It's so advanced and like thinking that it's even like hard for me to comprehend. Like my little brother, he is in like a computer technology kind of thing right now. He's just like taking all these tests because he's like super into building computers and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even understand what you're doing. And like this, even looking at this website was confusing to me because I'm not advanced in any of that kind of technology or those terms or anything. So it's like just like goes to show you how like technology is just so driven and so like advancing so much now.
Yeah.
I just loved how you can actually have like a physical pen and that you're just able to have like a conductive material on a piece of paper. It's crazy to think that from wires that you would have to use to make circuits to going to a pen, putting on like a piece of random paper. It's really cool. And something too that they did note, that they said that it was tested by toxicology, and that it's a non-toxic material, that they said if it got on your skin or anything it would cause no harm and you could just wash it off. So like
that was the only thing I was thinking about too. Like it sounds like possibly a safety issue, but no. Okay.
It surprised me.
Yeah, it really shows how teachers have a responsibility to keep up to date with things. It's not like it's crazy. Like we were taught one way when we were kids, and now we kind of have to relearn things that you think are basic. But we have to relearn those things so that we can teach a different generation according to their generation. So, yeah, makes our jobs a little more fun.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our talk for today, and we're signing off at this point.